Alright guys, we're doing Phasmophobia again. 6 Tanglewood Drive. Mostly tier 2 or 3 things. Headgear's tier 1, sound sensors tier 1. Otherwise everything's either tier 2 or tier 3. Let's go. I said let's go. First thing I'm going to do, since on this difficulty I have it between professional and intermediate, so the breaker is on. I did do that. So I'm going to unlock that door, because once you unlock the door, the ghost room, that's when the ghost room will start cooling down. Then we're going to bring a lot of things right up to the doorway. That way, don't have to grab them later. Because it's saving a lot of that time is going to be not as crucial as it usually is, but it's still going to be important. It's way more important if you're doing like 0 evidence, 0 sanity. See, so once I unlock that door, the ghost can start being active and doing things in there. Like ghost things, you know? That kind of thing. So I think that's all I'm going to bring to the door for now. We're going to start scanning for temperature. So our baseline is going to be 20, around the 20s. If it gets into the teens, which it should be around the low teens somewhat right now in the ghost room. It's already a picture thrown. Yep, there we go. So see, I could get the ghost room a lot faster due to unlocking that door a while before I walked in. So now we're going to grab the next few things. And grab our big old ghost writing book, so it can write in this book, and it will write in this book, or it's going to get in trouble. We're going to set our EMF reader down there. Unfortunately, this time I was too broke to bring 2 dots projectors. 2 tier 3 dots projectors if you're doing evidence with tier 3 gear, which not everyone does all that often. But if you are, and oh my god, already? Okay, so we already have ghostwriting. Now ghostwriting is a really good piece of evidence, because you can use it to get a picture as well as just it being evidence. So we're going to light up that. So my first guess is poltergeist, since we do have it already throwing a ton of stuff. But, so we're just going to instantly lock that in before we know anything else, except for ghostwriting. My sound in Phasmophobia isn't working for me for some reason. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I can't hear anything. So next up, next wave, we're going to be doing Spirit Box and Ultraviolet. Spirit Box we're not going to do right away. We're just going to set that down. Tier 3 Spirit Box would be preferred. I'm just broke and haven't had a chance to do a whole bunch of farming because I'm a little scaredy cat and I can't do no evidence on my own because I'm scared. So we're just going to grab a few more things and then we're going to get in the van and watch for ghost orbs and dots and all that. Now the best way to identify a poltergeist is it would throw a lot during a hunt. But can't do that right now. Okay, so it does look like Phasmophobia's audio is working for you, which makes it a little bit weirder that it isn't for me. So what I like to do is set up the salt in the triangle right here if it's one of these 2 rooms, or if you're doing no evidence and testing for a wraith, because that means that if it's going through, let's say it's coming from this room going into this hallway to roam around, it's going to step through 2 of them. If it's going through from this room to the other, it's got pretty decent chances of stepping in 2 of them. So no matter what, you have a decent chance of it stepping in at least 1 pile of salt. 6.7. Did you guys see that? I'm so funny. Please like, Please subscribe. I'm so hip with the youth. You can look on this camera thing. I personally like this a lot more than pre-Chronicle cameras. Pre-Chronicle van camera, in case you didn't know, was kind of just like a monitor setup, monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Not all that great. It's dropping paintings off the walls. But I'm not seeing ghost orbs, which does not conflict with my poltergeist theory. Poltergeist would have spirit box and ultraviolet. So we're going to run in there just in case it's stepped in the salt. If it has stepped in the salt, we can check that for ultraviolet, I believe. Poltergeist has one of the more subtle ghost abilities, because any ghost can throw things. It's just like the frequency at which the poltergeist throws things is way more, it throws them way more often. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so sometimes having the other rooms light on will screw up. Okay, well that's spirit box. Still pointing towards poltergeist then. I don't know what it said. Comment what it said. Free engagement, for real. You know what? I'm not feeling very safe. I'm gonna grab my little potato friend here. No, get in the mug. You can't get in the mug, okay. You know what? That just makes me sad. I'm just sad now. I don't want to play this game no more. And I'm not seeing... See, so that... Tier 3 EMF reader can track 3 things at once. All 3 of these things are thrown objects, which is heavily... That was definitely a poltergeist ability. I'm going to see if I can set up a poltergeist pal to show you even more in depth. So what a lot of people will do a lot of the time to check for poltergeist is set up a poltergeist pile, which is just a huge pile of items. That was the breaker. I didn't check where the breaker was. Okay, it's in the garage. So you see, I'm pretty confident this is a poltergeist. But just to be sure, we're going to set up this poltergeist pile. I always want to grab this spoon first on this, because if you grab the plate first, spoon's kind of just floating there and it doesn't look very good. So yeah, now if it goes anywhere near this, it's going to just blow that up. Come on, man, don't do that. It's so mean. You know, I could set up my camera right there. I'm wanting it to either step in the salt or turn on a light, because I don't think there's anything else it can touch. That was a ghost event. Should probably be keeping an eye on my sanity, or at least standing near the crucifix then. EMF level 4. So generally, this isn't a hunt, it was just like going after me for no reason. Because it's kind of mean. There we go. And there it is, ultraviolet. So it was a poltergeist, I was right the whole time. That was a breaker. So a huge part of phasmophobia is managing sanity. And it's trying to kill me, which means my sanity is not very managed right now. See, when that crucifix burns, that means it tried to hunt, which is the only state in which the ghost can kill you. It was not hunting there, but that's the ghost model you would see during a hunt. Yeah, definitely making me go crazy. I think 40% sanity is where the ghost can hunt. So we do want to be quick going back in to grab our stuff. We're going to try and get some extra money by taking pictures of the burned crucifix. See, it broke that light and that light. And it's turning off the breaker, so it really wants me to go crazy and die right now. So what media did we get? We got burned crucifix. That was ghost writing. It was EMF reading. So that's 3 right there. I'm just going to leave my flashlight there, to be honest. It's one of the way cheaper pieces of equipment. I'm just going to book it with what I have right now. And if that door were to close right when I was leaving, that would mean either it was a venting right in that hallway, or it was hunting, or it could be a Yuri. But since we know it's a poltergeist, thanks to the evidence we have, it can't be a Yuri. We got those 3 pictures and 3 pieces of evidence locked down for our poltergeist. Alright, so the most deceiving thing about a poltergeist ability is it can throw things like a normal ghost. It's not guaranteed to throw a whole bunch of things across the room. It does. No other ghost, though, can throw a whole bunch of things across an entire room at once, unless it's a mimic, and mimic kinda sucks. So you got 31 interactions is a lot. Never hunted. 3 events, did burn a crucifix, so we got quite a bit of money from that. Alright, and we're going back to Tanglewood. You can see this time I did get a second dots projector. Not always necessary, but always nice to have. Okay, just like before, gonna grab everything we need. And I always play, this custom difficulty is always on sunrise, just because it's personally the easiest weather for me. If you like another weather, no problem, but sunrise is just easiest for me to use. I don't know what it is, but I have an inkling, I have a gut reaction that it could be an Onryo. If it is an Onryo, I swear to God, I'm not cheating. If it's an Onryo, it's going to look like I'm cheating. It's going to look so much like I'm cheating. Land. Stay up. I'm wasting so much time doing this, man. Dog, just stay up. Whatever, I give up. So the igniter, your matches, or the 2 lighters, will not take up an inventory spot. So you can carry 4 things at once, technically. Although the igniter is useful for a lot of things. Just, you know, not everything. Your most basic evidence things will not use it. The things that spawn over here will not use igniters. But this, the incense, and that candlestick that I brought in earlier will use the igniter. Since I'm not doing 0 sanity, there's no reason to throw the crucifix through the door. I'm going to bring a little bit more right up to the door this time, though. It is being pretty active in there. Okay, so with this setup, I shouldn't need to go back to the van for a solid while. Okay, so first we're gonna first we're going to check this hallway for temperatures, obviously. So our baseline is once again going to be 20. Hold on a minute. Yeah, we're right here. This is one of my favorite places to have a ghost, is that living room, because it's so easy, especially on evidence. It's a little bit harder with no evidence, but it's still really, really easy to just hold down this room. And it's a nice straight path to the exit. Now, as you can see, if you're playing on amateur, this won't ever happen. It can, and then that means you can't go into that hiding spot, which means that you would have to rely on just outrunning the ghost to a different one. That one's also full. So I'm guessing that last one would also be full, though. Grab that camera. We should be good. There, we're going to grab that camera and the crucifix. That should be everything we're going to need. So the crucifix will stop it from hunting in a radius. You see that weird thing going on? That's the radius. So 2-2 has a pretty decently sized radius for the crucifix. Now, how cold it was is leading me to believe that we might have freezing temperatures. I'm not sure. Am I in the wrong room? Ooh, definitely not in the wrong room. We might not have freezing temperatures, though. We might just be stopping short. So that one's a little bit harder to get salt on, but still not really too hard. That's a ghost orb. Yep. So ghost orb does not always mean that it is an actual ghost orb evidence. That could be a mimic ghost orb, which it would be a fake ghost orb. Mimic ghost orbs will always show up, even on no evidence. If you see a ghost orb ever while playing no evidence, then it is definitely a mimic. I was about to say it's not a mimic, and that would be very, very wrong. It looks like it's being pretty active in there. So I could be right. Onryo does use ghost orbs as an evidence. Throwing some things around. Just set up the salt. You'll see that I'm setting it up slightly differently. That's because it's in a different location. If it's over there. Okay, we have ultraviolet and ghost orbs so far. And it is a very seemingly roaming ghost. Could be a banshee. Onryo is no longer an option. Could be a banshee. A banshee will roam outside of its ghost room to you and then back. So it could have, overshot that a little bit. There are 3 roaming ghosts: Wraith, Phantom, and Banshee. Wraith more so teleports. Phantom will roam. Banshee will roam. Now, to get a Banshee for sure, I would need to be able to hear. Obake, I would have to see a door touch with UV to be able to prove it, since we're trying not to get hunted. So Obake kind of sucks to try and prove here. Banshee is relatively simple to prove, though. I do just have to make another trip to the van. Don't remember the exact procedure, but it's not all too confusing. I think it was just like set up a motion sensor. Then if you see it get up to you, then return back from whence it came. And the ghost wouldn't have much reason to roam all the way down to where I am. See, all ghosts can roam a little bit, but not all ghosts can roam to the extent that the three I said can. I guess I can grab that parabolic microphone, that's also helpful. I won't be able to hear anything though, so I'll just have to be trying to guess based on the sheer decibel level. A banshee can scream. Seems to be. The motion sensor just went off. Alright, I'm gonna go with banshee. And that'll conclude today's thing. So I didn't realize that my mic was muted here, so I was just saying yeah, it was a banshee, and then I went to go play with like the Jenga blocks and the basketball. I'm going up the stairs. Oh, there we go, we got Jenga. And I'm gonna swish. Yeah, let's go. Basketball? Nope, I suck at basketball. So, I think I might have spoken about if you guys wanted me to see me do evidence with a friend. Either one of the ones that I've played with would work, and then I do have like one or two more friends that I could play with. So, I think that's it. The fire video. Like, subscribe, comment.